Let me turn to Ahmedou Ould-Abdallah. With your extensive experience in Africa, one of the places where the United Nations has frequently and in a highly public way been accused of wrongdoing has been alleged episodes of sexual violence perpetrated by peacekeepers, whom Corell has been careful to help us understand are not necessarily thought of as representatives of the United Nations, but in the public eye they're certainly often seen that way. In your view, is this a problem that has been handled and considered in a way that is effective and that we should think further about?
Thank you. Well, from my experience and beyond my experience, our knowledge, every time you have conflict, you have unexpected consequences, and one of them is violation of human rights, abuse and murder, and especially violence against women. And this has been seen in Bosnia. It has been seen even before UN was established, World War I, World War II. But in peacekeeping, especially in Congo, and East Congo has been with the UN peacekeeping since its independence, since '62. And that in itself is not helpful to the UN image. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, a number of heads of state were saying, how come for the last 50 years we had the UN presence in East Congo and the situation is still the same, chaotic, violation, poverty. Of course, it is very easy to blame the UN, and UN is blamed everywhere, especially in this country. And I think for a number of reasons, because UN has no constituency, and also it is easy to blame. It is very difficult to defend the UN because you don't vote election, you don't pay taxes, and I mean we are not a constituency with a senator or a representative. So sexual violence has been married UN in a number of conflicts, and UN has done what it can do. Its commission in Geneva, Human Rights Commission, has appointed since 1994 a special rapporteur on abuse and violence against women. Because as you know, in conflict, violence against women is a tool of war, a tool of domination, of oppression. So the UN has appointed a special rapporteur, and it has been renewed in 2006, and they are still reporting. But to me, beyond this, and building on what my 2 predecessors have said, and since I left UN and spending more time in West and North Africa, I have a number of interrogations myself. I think people accept you. You have a constituency if you are seen as legitimate or neutral or able to deliver. And increasingly the UN is facing difficulties to deliver first because there are no resources. And as the judge said, to spend $102 billion to investigate. I mean, to investigate on $102 billion. I think the cost of spending was more than $2 billion. I remember a note that the oil for food was about $100 billion. The cost of the investigation was more than $2 billion. The finding was $160,000. So all this was spent here in this country. And from our side, people see it as something to undermine the UN from here. And you know, when people don't have time to do many things, they have this and plot, you know, conspiracy and so on. So even in Africa, where we got independence quickly, thanks to the UN, where UN has been very instrumental the first 10, 20 years of our independence, UN is losing ground as non-effective or manipulated or whatever. So to be back to violence against women, UN has done the maximum. The rest is with countries themselves, with constituencies, and in closing, I say I'm very disturbed. I see, you know, many indicators are disappearing. I think the weakness, as perceived in North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, the weakness of UN is also the weakness of member states. You know, when I was younger, or even when I was in the UN, and that's younger, Security Council used to meet and to take a resolution. Now, most UN Security Council meetings ends up with a presidential statement, which is a statement. They are not implementable. And UN is seen as fragmented or losing a number of its legitimacy. But this is true for NATO. This is even worse for Arab League, for African Union. So what I say, European Union, we don't even talk about it. They spend so much time on translation and agriculture. So at my point, we are really in a phase where I think most power-making centers are losing credibility or legitimacy, and with that, even efficiency is perceived as so. Maybe as ethic with two well-known lawyers, we should think of what to do to renew the legitimacy of international institutions. I don't think people give them the respectability, the credibility they used to give them even 10 years ago. Thank you.
So you're calling our attention to the ways in which charges against the United Nations, like against other international organizations, can be used as political tools to undermine the legitimacy of the organization itself, and can be overkill in an era in which those organizations may be under political attack of one kind or another.